pay attention to our reality, we will find that every moment we are choosing, we are exercising our free will, every moment. But sometimes we become very much affected by the things created for us, and then it may become more difficult to understand or to go through and to understand the wisdom in it. Of course, before everything, we have to be aware that whatever happens to us happens not because we deserve it, either in the positive sense or in the negative sense. For example, if we receive a reward, beautiful spring life, for example, not because we deserved it, to be rewarded with spring and a beautiful anything that we wanted to have. Or whatever happens, when it comes to the negative side, we get more annoyed. And we have a crossed eye or eyebrows. Why is it happening to me? And we accuse the Creator, and our ego never says, why do you bring the Creator into the topic now, while you didn't bring the Creator into the discussion when you were rewarded? Of course, when you were rewarded, we say, okay, this has happened, that's why. He said, weather is beautiful, because of the season. It's easy to say that. But when it happens something bad, we go back to God and start complaining. Of course, there are many other aspects of this matter. We are not going to really deal the subject of the problem of evil in details today, but a kind of preparation for this very interesting subject, the problem of evil. This will be a starting point, actually, today's discussion. But we have to bear in mind that when something happens that we don't like, we should not take it as a sign of punishment. We never know, it may be as a sign of revolt. We have to understand this. Depending on our attitude, it may turn into a sign of punishment or a sign of reward, depending on our attitude. How about the aspect of these unfortunate events that we call them unfortunate events? They are not unfortunate, but we call them bad events or calamities. Aren't they a sign of punishment for us? That Allah is really punishing? God, the one who creates the calamities for us, are the signs. How can it be a reward? Depending on our attitude. How do we interpret it? If we see them as created by God for us, for example, to be an example for others. Somebody is born with, let's say, without legs. From the birth defect, they call it, from birth, okay? And this person may say, why am I created without legs, for example? And then somebody may come and say that, legs are so important for human beings, so lack of the legs, people see you, how the life is difficult without legs, the others will appreciate. And then the man says, okay, why am I chosen? Yeah. So we have to understand that, alaykum as-salam wa rahmatullah, so welcome, inshallah. MashaAllah. Happy to see you. No. Okay. Why am I chosen for this to be an example for others to take lesson from my way of creation? We have to bear in mind that there is a verse in the Quran and it clarifies this. وَلَا تَقُولُوا لِمَنْ يُقْتَلُ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ أَنْبَاتٍ. بل أن no بل أنتم بل أحي sorry بل أحياهم ولكن لا تشعرون. Is that right? Now, there are different verses, but this the Baqarah, which is in the Baqarah chapter Baqarah. لا تقول لمن يقتل في سبيل الله أموات بل أحياء ولكن لا يشعرون. لا تشعرون. لا تشعرون. It means those who are killed in the way of God. Okay? Don't call them, don't say that they are dead. Yeah? But they are alive, but you are not aware of it. What does it mean? If a person is killed in the way of God, of course it is not that simple. Don't say that they are killed. It doesn't mean that I shouldn't say that they are not killed. No, understand that they are not dead. What? They are dead. They are killed. No, they are not dead. They are alive. What is it? If somebody has lost his life, in extension, if somebody has lost his health, his well-being, his property, maybe his honor, her honor may be insulted, we never know. So don't say it is dead. It means he has lost his property, he has lost his life, lost means death. He has lost his or her honor, his or her well-being, health. Don't say that. Why? Because it is spent in the name of God. What does it mean? God is eternal, the creator, is the giver of that property or that body or that existence. So he is taking it back with himself. That's why those people who are killed in the way of God, in the path of God, are called shaheed, which literally means martyr and witness. That's what we have to understand. For example, I lost my finger. God forbid. We don't want it. But if it is created by God as an accident, as a result of an accident or in a calamity created, whatever, my finger has become a witness because he is taken from me by whom? Because it is not the result of my choice. It is the result of, carry on the sentence, the losing my hand is the result of the one who created the finger. He is taking it away from me.
But that actually could have been my creation. Not my creation, it could have been because of my action.
So that is your attitude. Now, this depends, it will be your attitude, but the act of creation. So if you, in the other verse, which describes then, وَلَا تَحْسَبَنَّ الَّذِينَ, carry on the verse, if someone قُتِلُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ, not exactly, but the meaning is, don't think that those who are killed in the way of God as dead. It means, again, dead means lost. For example, I had this one and something happened and it's broken. I say my glasses are dead, which means which means I'm not going to use them. They are not glasses anymore. They are gone. And the Quran said, don't say it's dead. Alaykum salam. Don't say they are dead. Why? Because they haven't gone into non-existence. They haven't gone into annihilation. They are taken back to the one who created them, who is absolute, who is going to protect them with him. So if something is taken under the supervision or sponsorship of the absolute one, what happens to that one? You know, let's say my finger has been taken away under the supervision of the creator of the finger. And if I am a believer, in the verse, we don't want to study, and this is not our subject today, that's why I didn't record the verses. In the verse it says, the believers will be happy with what God created for them. So if you really understand that this finger has given to you by an absolute being who is the all-powerful creator, then it is taken away from you. It is taken away from you with the will of this absolute creator. And if something goes into absolute, what happens? It is not dead. Absolute is limitless. There is no time and space limit. It includes everything. It is present. So don't think that it is dead. Although it is a little bit deep subject, which goes against our understanding, but we can understand that the prophet came home and asked if there is anything. His wife said, we had a lamp, but I gave it to sadaqah, it means charity, only a few is left. You know, the shoulder is left, something. And the prophet, changes the whole world view and says that, oh, that means we had the rest, all the body of the sheep, but only we didn't have the shoulder, because the one, the part of the sheep which is given to charity went to eternity. It means in the way of God. So it is not dead. What you have in your hand is dead. That is the complete upside down of our worldview. Why? Because when we look at the universe, not existing by itself, but created by the absolute being, what we understand, this world can get only its eternity if I see it as the property of the absolute being, a being, which means if I see it as belonging to the absolute being. Then my understanding will tell me that, look at this world is in reality a property of the absolute being. So absolute being, God, will not let it go into annihilation or nothingness. He will preserve it. These kind of verses are really teaching us how to change, if you like, our perception of the world upside down or inside out, or outside into the reality. So we think that the life which is given to us is our property. When my life is taken away from my body, I say I am dead. But in the eye of the believer in the creator of the life, who is the absolute being, he has taken my life with him as he gave it to me. Now my life has gained eternity with him. Do you understand this? So if we see the world from this perspective, then because of the reality of this universe, tells me that it is the product of an eternal absolute being. So it is his property, it's not my property. So I will be aware, or I will understand that my understanding will let me realize that if I see it as the eternal being's property, nothing will go into annihilation. So if it is taken away from me, where has it gone? It has gone to where it came from. So that belief, the perspective of belief, believing in the Creator, must change my worldview. So if someone says, using the same example as the finger example, whom does this finger belong to? Answer, it's Creator. Whoever created, I didn't create it, and nothing can make it in this world. This finger, nothing can make it. Nothing can have the power to do it, have the knowledge to do it, wisdom to do it, or will to do it. So it belongs to the Creator of my body and of the whole universe, so it belongs to it. So if I see it as my finger belongs to the eternal being, how am I seeing my finger as a piece of property belongs to the absolute being? So where it came from, when I don't see it, it went to when it came from. That's the worldview of the Quran teaches us, and it makes sense if we really seriously think about it. Yes, Ali? Welcome. I'm happy to see you. So we are at the crossroad always, every moment. But not the events will change, but our attitude towards the events will have the effect on us. So if we harm ourselves, if we see that we are losing some properties that apparently we own them, that's our perspective. If we see them, no, they are not ours, they belong to somebody, that is also our perspective. In both cases, our attitude will be constructed as a result of or according to our perspectives. So we have to look at or check our perspectives. No, rather than counting the money you have, we have to check our understanding of the ownership of this property. To whom this property belongs to? Question mark. I have to give the answer. Yeah. So when something happens to us that we don't like, it is a trial. Trial for what? To shake us. What do you think? What happened? The Quran says they don't. You have not lost it. They don't. They are not dead. They are alive, and they are with their Creator. Oh. Quran says, let me see. Is it so? I have to think about it. And really evaluate the events that happens to my life alongside my belief. So check ourselves. Question our understanding. Don't take it for granted that I have two legs. Question it. Where did you get it? Where did you get it from? So don't say that this property belongs to me. Does it? Life belongs to me. Health belongs to me. Whatever. Youth belongs to me. Where did you get it? According to the source of the existence of the things, you have to define the ownership. Belongs to whom? Do I belong to myself? Ask the question. Am I the owner of my own self? Ask the question. Ask the question, frankly. Am I the owner of my own self? Have you ever thought? Have you asked this question?
Depends on what you mean by self, right?
Being, body, for example, or your mind, consciousness, awareness, whatever. So am I the owner of anything? Am I the owner of anything?
Am I not at least the owner of my soul? No. I mean, I can make my own decisions,
So you can choose to say that, to say, I want this way or on this way. When you make the decisions, when you make a decision about any matter, you are not really creating it, you are wanting it. If you like, you are petitioning to your Creator to create it for you. So, for example, when I decide to speak, I am not the creator of my speech. I'm asking or petitioning, making an offer to God. I want to say this sentence. Please enable me. That is His rule of existence, that I can be able to speak. I cannot be the creator of the speech. I cannot be the owner of the speech. Only I am choosing to say this or that.
But I thought you were saying before that God created speech. Obviously, I did not create speech.
Anything, yeah.
But I can create my own speech
Okay.
as something that
Create.
like I didn't create speech as in speech, but I am creating the words that I'm saying right now.
I am asking. Think about it.
But I'm
Spend
not
1 or
asking.
2 nights about it.
I'm
That is
not
worth
asking
it.
right now. I'm not asking God, can I talk right
Yeah, that's you're choosing to ask. You cannot create it. You cannot be the source of existence of your speech, your tongue, your teeth, your mouth, your, I don't know, how is it called? This,
Esophagus? Esophagus?
I cannot say it. Esophagus?
Windpipe.
Windpipe. Yeah. So your mind, your brain, your nerve system. But who really established this nerve system, which is, they say, it is, if you really add up all together, they are perfectly designed in my body. I am not a partner in the creation of any of my
Does
being.
creation always have to mean out of nothingness?
Of course, giving existence to something.
Yeah, but it can be giving existence to something from something else, no?
You create means giving existence to something which did not exist. So at every moment the universe is given existence in another form. Because we are used to seeing the same things are happening in a perfect order, we think that the universe is continuing its existence. How can it continue its existence into the future which doesn't exist and they don't have the choice? Nothing. But I want to be this way. But if I had the choice, I would make myself really as young as you are. But I don't know, Habib can do it, but I can't. Habib, can you? So I can't. It means I am given, and I am only a consumer, what is given to me. So I choose, yes, I'm given the freedom to choose to ask within the order He presented to me. I haven't established this order. I haven't established the order in my existence. Anything. I've just found it. It means I am given. So we have to think about it, concentrate on it, because we are used to taking the existence on the surface level and saying that here the buildings are always there. The earth is always here. I am always here. Now, every moment, the universe is subject to continuous change. Your time.
No, I know there's a surah, and forgive me if I don't say it correctly, because I don't know it in Arabic, but it's to Allah do we belong and to Allah do we return. And there is no compulsion in religion, so there is a fine line. You have to be able to make choices.
Yeah.
But essentially, we belong to Allah, but we do have. there's a
Given
fine
the
line,
choice.
because we do have that will to make good choices.
Yeah, we are given the free will
Correct.
to choose whether see the world as our property or see our body as our property, or accept that they are given to us by somebody who has given existence to the universe. So you were late, but okay.
So I'm hesitant to ask because I might have missed something.
You
But
may.
I think the thing that's subtle in there that I'm interested in is sure, we cannot express our words without what God has given us, but at some point, like there's some consciousness where the idea of these words or this question arising in my head, right, or somewhere inside me, like is that part still in me, or is even that sort of out of my control? And if it is, then at what point does sort of, where does my responsibility begin and end for the things that, I guess something has to be me for me to be held responsible for it,
Yeah.
right, or accountable for it.
Yeah, choose, choice. There's a choice only. And we are given free choice. The nature of the choice or free will, or al-irada al-juziyya in Arabic, is to be free. That's what we have to understand. God set me free. That's the most delicate subject. And Muslim scholars wrote about it hundreds of, maybe thousands of volumes. And not only Muslim, Christians, Jews, about free will, free will. Philosophers who go to the library and see how much has been really scholarly work done about free will and this, especially. But we don't have any problem with good things that happen to us. But when the bad things happen to us, we really cry out and start rebelling and pointing to God. When the good things happen, the verses will explain us now. I think we should go further into the verses. Any more questions, concerns? No? Ali, you must be very tired. Just flying all the way. I don't know how many hours. Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Somebody please. Anyone? No one wants to read the verse in Arabic? Okay.
وإذا أذقنا الناس رحمة فرحوا بها وإن تصبهم سيئة بما قدمت أيديهم إذا هم يغنطون.
English? Anybody? Yep.
And when we cause mankind to taste of mercy, they rejoice therein. But if an evil thing befall them as the consequence of their own deeds, lo, they lose all hope.
Yeah. Now, why the Quran says here, we understand that when we cause mankind to taste of mercy, they rejoice therein. Here we are. No one makes any argument against it. No one really criticizes it. So now I question it. But if an evil thing befall them as the consequence of their own deeds, they lose all hope. If you remember, during the introductory talk, or the part of our discussion today, I said, when evil happens, it is not necessarily the punishment. But this verse says something apparently contrary to what I said. That was the principle. But we have to understand these verses as the consequence of their own deeds. It means this one. وَإِن تُصِبْهُمْ سَيِّئَةٌ بِمَا قَدَّمَتْ أَيْدِيهِمْ. You did it with your own hand. It means absolutely everything which seems to be evil is your own interpretation of the event as evil. We discussed this matter when we were studying the verse إِذَا أَصَابَتْهُمْ مُصِيبَةٌ when I try to remember, فَمِن نَفْسِكَ مَا أَصَابَكَ مِنْ حَسَنَةٍ فَمِنَ اللَّهِ وَمَا أَصَابَكَ مِنْ سَيِّئَةٍ فَمِن نَفْسِكَ. Last week we studied this, which means whatever happens to you as good is from God, whatever happens to you as bad is from yourself. We said, I can't really, everything is bad that I do is from me, I'm responsible for it, and everything is good is from God. Oh, all blame on me. God says I am free from all blame. Okay, take it out, whether I take it or leave it, because He is the God decides. We said, no. Femin nefsik means from yourself, means from your egoistic perspective, which interprets this event as an evil event. But the other verses tell us that it's not an evil event. You turned or interpreted the event as an evil one, although it is not an evil, in your eyes evil, because if something happens to you that you don't like, it doesn't mean that it is evil for you. We said if I get ill, for example, who said that it's evil for me? But if I say, I lost my health, who has taken it? Of course, it is taken by the Creator. So the Creator is the bad one, because he has taken my health. And God is saying, be careful, it's not yours. If it was yours, you would keep it. But I am giving it to you. That's why I am taking it temporarily from you. Have a positive attitude saying that my Creator is teaching me. So my health, the verses we mentioned earlier, says, don't say I have lost my health. Quran said, don't say, وَلَا تَقُولْ لَمَنْ يُقْتَلُ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ أَمْوَاتٍ. Don't say, I have lost my health. بَلْ أَحْيَاءٌ. Your health is with God now, with the source who has given it to you, who has created for you. So he has taken it. You are just chosen as a witness. But if you say, no, I am not chosen as a witness, but I am chosen as a victim, not a witness. I'm victimized there. Then, of course, you suffer from your own interpretation. So we have to understand this kind of verses. Watch out for yourself. For example, there is a calamity, let's say earthquake, and the building fell down, and you lost your properties. I didn't do anything. Why it happened? You can question. So, not because your house or your building is destroyed, your understanding, if you say it came from God, it went back to God, as the verse says. If you have this attitude, and if you really understand that this world is a transient place where we are being educated, where we are being taught. You know, we again discussed last week, emphasizing on the importance of understanding God as the educator. As the educator, not only the creator, but the educator. So if you say that he's teaching me. For example, for example, he teaches us a formula, and in the formula, for example, teacher takes one element of the formula and says, okay, find out this missing element here. Do you think he is torturing you, or he is trying to teach you the importance of that element within the formula or equation? That we have to understand this. So it is for my benefit. He's teaching me. My Creator is teaching me my own reality. He is not letting my ego overtake the property which belongs in reality to its Creator. That is the realization we have to reach while we are here in this world. That's why we are given existence. Otherwise, why do we think we exist in this world? Have you ever thought about it? What on earth? I am here. Huh? Why? Why are we here?
To prepare for Judgment Day. Or trials to prepare.
Judgment Day. Why does God need to judge about me? Doesn't He know? And what? No. Let's say that.
That's the part we come to with the freedom of choice and compulsion. Religion not being a compulsion, because you do have to choose.
All right.
Are you going to seek knowledge? Are you going
Yeah.
to live a good life? Are you going to be righteous?
So, righteous or how to say wrongdoer, whatever. We are here if you really, really pay attention to it, because that is the common rhetoric that we have to get ready for the Judgment Day. Obviously, you are the first time you are coming to our halakha. Is it the first time you are being here?
In this particular class?
Yeah.
I studied Islamic studies with
Doesn't matter. Forget about
In this
this.
class?
In this class.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's why. You have to come and you have to really, really review your views. I'm not saying what you are saying is wrong. No, the perspective must change. We are here to get to know and acquaint ourselves with our Creator. So otherwise, God knows who I am. God, whatever I do, for what? Let's say, I killed one tree. What happened? Do you think God cannot create another one?
We do on Judgment Day.
So that's okay. Judgment Day is according to my understanding of the creation and actions that I do according to my belief system. So first here to understand who my Creator and worship Him alone. Worship Him alone. It means acknowledge His authority over everything. Not only the universe belongs to Him, but we have to talk about it a lot. But don't misunderstand me. You learn something there, the good data, they are good data, but we will use them from belief perspective. So when we read the Quran, really Quran teaches us and ourselves also. Why do I need to be judged? Why? Well, I understand that whether I am being really honest to my reality, all the gifts, all the human qualities given to me, in order to what? In order to know their owner. Their owner. For example, I can think. Why is it given to me? The creator of the universe is absolutely wise one, knowledgeable one. He knows everything. That is the, if you like, unit of measurement given to me. Say, what I can think, I can really understand what is going on. I can organize my life, and the universe is being organized, and definitely his creator, its creator, must have this ability to do. So I say, my creator is the all-knowing, thinking, absolutely wise one. So acknowledging who your creator is, don't appropriate the property of God to ourselves. And then use it accordingly. Now, that comes second. So if we don't really acknowledge our creator by using the, if you like, trusts, elements, or equipments that we are given in order to know him, who my Lord is. That's why we are here. And then act accordingly follows it. So Day of Judgment refers to action, but actions gain their value from belief system. So usually that aspect, belief aspect, is taken for granted by Muslim scholarship because they are addressing the Muslim audience, and they don't let them question about their belief because they may fail, because it needs really a serious discussion, serious thinking. So without letting them think about their stand, they say, you are Muslims, all right, do good deed. But we are emphasizing here more on the belief aspect of it. Why are we Muslims? We can bravely question this matter. Why are we as we are? So we have to have the evidence. Yeah, we have to have the evidence first. That's why, as far as the content of our discussion or our classes are concerned, the first question, why are we here on this earth? To know who my Lord is, who my owner is, to establish this first and foremost. And then, so, well, because that's my primary duty, most important, primordial duty, to know who my God is, to know who the Creator is. So if I misinterpret the events, for example, calling them as bad events, that is my work. That's my choice. And when we choose the wrong attitude or wrong way of understanding this universe, it becomes my fault, and I start suffering from it because my Creator says, you have made a mistake, and this mistake is not going to be rewarded, but you have to suffer so that you will understand what you are doing is wrong. God's mercy doesn't let us go free. That's what we have to understand. For example, if something hurts my hand, I feel the pain. It means something is going on wrong here. If I misinterpret the universe or interpret the universe in a wrong way, saying that everything is accidental, that makes me live in this world and live in a world which is the result of accidents. So I lose my purpose, I lose the meaning of my life, I lose the value of my life, I become a product of an accident or sequences of accidents. So I cannot really be an honorable being in this world. So that is my fault. If I feel depressed, if I suffer from meaninglessness, that would be my fault. Right? That's the verses. Shall we go one more? Or do we have more questions? Okay. Another one. Okay. Somebody? Nobody? You? Would you like? No? Arabic?
In Arabic, but I'll read it in English.
Okay. How about you? Okay.
وعسى أن تكرهوا شيئا وهو خير لكم وعسى أن تحبوا شيئا وهو شر لكم والله يعلم وأنتم لا تعلمون.
Okay. So you can read, as you promised, the English.
But it is possible that you dislike a thing which is good for you, and that you love a thing which is bad for you. But God knows, and you know not.
So what does it mean? Here, it's possible that you dislike a thing which is good for you, and that you love a thing which is bad for you. So I know nothing. I'm in confusion. So, but God knows, and you don't know. You know not if you don't know. So I know nothing. Okay, I know nothing. Leave everything. No, think about it twice. Know that everything is given existence by a one who knows what he is doing. Try to see the wisdom in it. So don't take it for granted. Shall I make a joke? As this brother thinks that he is the creator of his speech. Have you ever really seriously think about it? So God says, you may think that this is so, but it may not be. Be, if you like, doubtful, suspicious about your conclusions. Forever? Yes. Yes, we have to be doubtful and questioning about everything. Is it really true? Is it really true? Only then we can make progress. If you don't make if you take it for granted that I have got the truth, and you are stagnant now, it means you are done, and you cannot make any progress. When you don't make any progress, it means you become stagnant with your own previous understanding. It means your human qualities are going to be wasted. God gives you the consciousness still. God gives you the option to think about the events. God keeps repeating the creation, demonstrating the creation. For what? Keeps making you hungry. Why? Every time you eat, you will refresh your position in the world. Somebody is taking care of me. Yeah? Somebody is really preparing what I need. So I have to think of myself in this world as his guest. So he is really taking care of me as his guest, and I am happy with him, and say, I acknowledge you. You are a generous one. You are the nourisher. You are the one who takes care of me, and you are being kind to me. And in connection with him continuously, Otherwise, I understood, that is from God, alhamdulillah, that's what the religious phrase says, I'm done, finished. And why don't you die then? Because your purpose here to get to know who your creator is. So there's not only one state of belief saying that I believe that the universe belongs to him. No, be careful. Every time the creation is renewed, every time the manifestations of the qualities of its creator are being renewed. So every time we have to respond back to this renovation, renewal. Every time we have to renew our belief in God. Every time. So we cannot really say that we are done. So that's why whatever happens, now you like it or you don't like it, you cannot know. But what you can be sure of, they are given to you by a one who knows what he is doing. How do we know? Look at the demonstration. Do you think the creator of this universe? Do you think the creator of the trees? Do you think the creator of the atoms don't know what he is doing? Think about it. Do you think the creator of your body doesn't know what he is doing? So it means if something happens which you don't like, you have to understand that the creator of this event knows what he is doing. I have to also look for the reason why he is creating this. Don't say that I don't like it, it's bad. It is a very quick judgment. Right? The things that especially we don't like, we may think that, oh, I don't like it. Since I don't like it, it is bad. Of course, we have to be very careful while we are using our free will. We should avoid choosing the bad or anything which will be bad for me, because my creator has given me the sense of not liking this result, this. So I should avoid, for example, illness. That's my choice. But when illness happens or a calamity happens, what will happen? I say, I don't like it. Don't make a quick judgment. Yes, you don't like it. Yes, you don't like it. But why don't you see that the one who created this calamity knows what he is doing? Isn't he? Is there any calamity happens haphazardly or within the order, within control, within his command, the creator? Isn't that the rule of happening in this world? It means conscious, deliberate control over everything happens. So don't make, what I understand from it, don't make a quick judgment about the events. The question first.
Actually, it's more of a comment. I thought of an example that could you kind of mentioned it actually. If you have an illness or you mentioned you get hurt on your arm, you think it's bad for you initially. But then you can also say that later on it may have been good for you because now you're aware of your mortality, you're aware of that you were created. So something that may have seemed in consequence bad could lead to something that is positive. So you shouldn't make the assumption.
So the starting point is, for example, what did you say?
Pain in your arm.
You know, pain in my arm. So how it happens? The first question is it accidental? Is it a deliberate act of creation? Ask this. Is it accidental or deliberate creation taking place within a perfect order, which is the result of the knowledge of the Creator? It's a sign of the knowledge of the Creator, the order. So say, the one who gives me pain in my arm knows what he is doing. So it is my turn now. Think about it. Is this one who created me to know him is harming me? He must be a crazy God. He must be crazy because he created me and is torturing me now here. So is there any sign of craziness in the creation, in the universe? So my judgment is wrong. That's why the verse said, watch out. Think about it twice. Don't use your prejudgments about the events and just really decide according to your previous expectations, which are, if you like, accumulated, the result of your previous experiences, that you have not taken the creation as an act of the absolute creator. So, because most of the time we forget this. Whatever happens here, for example, the sun is going to now set, we think this is normal. This is normal. We don't see that it's a deliberate act of creation coming from a knowing God. He is really deliberately deciding about the existence of the sunset. It is his design. Why? He is manifesting his attributes in the act of creation so that the conscious beings like you and me, the human beings, will see the manifestations of God and acknowledge him as the one who is the creator of the sunset. Right? So I will say this God is not crazy. He is really teaching me who my Lord is, who he is. So the pain also his act. How can I use it as a means of knowing him? You can do that. And that's what the verse says. Think about it in terms of God's knowledge. Don't say it is something bad happened and accidentally it happened to me. It is wrong. That is why the Quran is to be read in order to really educate myself in my belief in God. That's what we have to understand. That the universe is there to educate myself in my connection with my Creator, really finding him out, and the Quran is a handbook, again, speaking to me, guiding me, to teach me why I am here. Why I am here.
Could you clarify what you mean by think about it in terms of God's knowledge? Because I mean, if we're not supposed to look at things from God's perspective in regards to punishment or reward, how can we really fully comprehend God's knowledge?
Who studies medicine here? Is there anybody who studies medicine and biology?
I was a nurse.
Sorry, you study medicine somehow?
He was a nurse.
The nurse. Okay. If there is an illness, what the science or discipline of medicine, what does the discipline of medicine do? This is an illness, I don't know, accidentally happened. Yeah, because everything is accidental, isn't it? According to secular science. Yeah, we are developing accidentally, aren't we? The human beings or the other creatures are really developing throughout the millions or billions of years and happen to be accidentally like this. So the diseases are accidentally happening there. Why bother to find out the rules, principles, order in this existence? So they say, I have to find out the rule. I have to find out the order so that I can control. Yeah, because they believe in the order and conscious act of creation in the disease, existence of disease. So we know that whether you study how, for example, the ocean is set on Earth, or how hurricane is taking place, they are taking place. We know that within a very fine-tuned order. Yeah, they all know that, you know, the butterfly effect, how finely everything is adjusted. It means the Creator knows. Whoever is creating the pain, you are not victimized. You are not the victim of the accidental chain of accidental events. You are deliberately given the pain by your Creator. So that's why you say, this is deliberately happening here. As you said, this hand is aching and there's a pain here. This hand doesn't have. Take it equal. This is created by the one who knows. Otherwise, I cannot explain the existence of this healthy hand or arm. Right? Can you explain the existence of the healthy hand by attributing to anything other than the creator of the whole universe? How can you attribute the existence of aching or the hand in pain? You have to say this is also deliberately created and see that there must be a purpose in the existence of the pain in my hand. And but we should never forget that why we are here, to know who our Lord is. The one who is creating the pain in my arm is educating me about something. So think about about it from this perspective. Immediately you start saying that there must be a wisdom in it, because is there anything in the universe which exists and doesn't have wisdom at all? So in the pain there is a wisdom. Look for it. You will understand it. It means change your world view.
So along with if the pain is from God to teach you a lesson, then why take a payment? Why take something to alleviate your suffering if the suffering is given to you by God to teach you a lesson?
Okay. So again, welcome. Are you the first time here?
No.
Is it in the class? You have been here before? I mean, good. So, look, we keep saying that. You dislike the pain. Do you?
Yeah.
You dislike it. Okay. No, don't you say. You dislike it. Why do you think this sense of disliking is given to you? To avoid it. But while it's given to you, don't go to God and criticize him. Turn to God by using the sense of dislike, because he asked you not to like the pain. Say, since you want me, be careful the dialogue now. Since you want me not to like this pain, I don't like it, and I believe that there is nothing can stop it, only you. So when you take the medicine, take it in the name of God. When you go and ask a doctor, go and ask a doctor in the name of God. That's what the Quran teaches. We have to really refresh our perspective. So you look for it. If you don't look for the cure or the healing for it, you are rejecting what God has given you. The sense of dislike of pain. That is given to you. You have to use it. You cannot really go against it. So you know that you cannot really stop the pain by itself, but yourself. Go away, man. I don't like you. Can you do that? It is there. So what have you do? You have to take necessary steps by really going to the causes, the other medicine and other means of curing as much as you know. But you know that all these medicine and other ways of cure are provided by the one who created the universe. That is your prayer to God. It means, please God, I want healing. I want to get rid of this pain you gave me. I know you gave me for a purpose, but I also know that you created me with a dislike of the pain. So go and take the medicine, whatever, if there is. Painkillers are not curing that. You know that there's no medicine for the moment, although we developed a lot. Whatever. So take the, not the painkiller, it doesn't really heal. But really, if you find a source of curing or healing your pain, take it and thank the Creator. That's how you connect yourself with the Creator. We always say in our discussions, in our classes, that there are always two ways of communicating with God. One is when we receive any grace from God, to thank Him in response. When you receive anything that we dislike, to go back and ask Him in acknowledgement of His authority to help me. There is no other way of really seeking refuge into only into the creator of this universe. That's why we have to talk about this matter. But I know this is a source of problem, not only problem, disease for the minds of the people, especially if they want to get to know their God, if they don't want to take it for granted. So this needs a deep discussions, a lot of discussions, and many questions and answers. All the questions must come, and also with a critical attitude. It means don't imitate me. That's obvious. So just criticize if what I say doesn't sound right. Say it doesn't make sense. As a human being, I cannot approve it. But don't use your previous prejudices. So we take it for granted that we believe in God, that is very simple way of approaching the matter. So we have to question and look for the answer and substantiate our belief in God, whether it is right or wrong. If it is wrong, give the idea behind, leave it. If it is right, consolidate it. And every time we have to reconfirm in order to re-establish our connection with God. That's why we are given this long lifespan. So there's a verse that, inshallah, we can stop here. There's a verse in the Quran says that when the people or said ask God or accuse God, saying that you didn't give us enough life. Send us back so we will do good things. God says, haven't we given you enough time to know who you are and to know who your Lord is? It means we are given. It means we are given all the opportunities, everything really, every day, every moment is a gift to us in order to benefit, use, to get to know who my Lord is. Otherwise, belief in God doesn't take only once. So every moment is waiting for witnessing. Shahada. Shahada means witnessing. So witness to what? To whatever is revealed to us. What is revealing to us? The continuous act of creation. It means continuous manifestations of the qualities of God. It means anytime we receive, or no, you go to the restaurant, anytime you eat, you pay. You don't say, I paid yesterday. They wouldn't give you any food. So anytime you eat, anytime you respond back by paying. So God doesn't need payment, of course, it's obvious. So what he needs, acknowledgement. By acknowledging, we have to be very careful here. By acknowledging that everything is from him, I am establishing a sound, very sound relationship with my God. It means I am fulfilling the purpose of my existence here. The purpose of my existence is to get to know who my Lord is. Yeah? And act accordingly. But if you don't get to know who your Lord is, your action will be waste. But if you get to know who your Lord is, you will have to act, because you cannot contradict yourself. That's why Iman, everything from belief perspective, to consolidate our belief is a must, without which no one can do anything, in my understanding. But think about it, you will understand. Don't take your religiousness for granted. Don't take your belief for granted. Don't take your Islamic identity for granted, that we are Muslims. What do you mean? Never say this. Never say this. I am ready to submit myself to my Lord, because I am aware of him. Now, tomorrow, when it comes, I will reconfirm my, if you like, covenant with my Creator. That's why mithaq in Arabic must be understood in this way for those who are familiar with the word. Covenant with God needs to be re-established. As he comes to you, you have to sign the contract. Every day a universe comes to you, And you have to sign. Yes, I acknowledge that this is also from my Creator. If we don't do that, when we receive the grace, we are happy with God. When something happens bad, we say, oh, why am I chosen? That's a very famous expression. Why me? It means you have not really signed the contract. Yeah, needs training, inshallah. Right. So sorry. Any question?
I had a question and you didn't give me a chance to ask it. So
Okay, okay.
I'm going to ask you later.
Okay, no, ask her.
No.
I
It's
think
very
the people, mostly the people who are in the class is waiting. Not many, those maybe some people, but in minority, very minority. So, would you like to ask? If it is long, we will leave it to the
Okay,
next
so
class.
I'll leave it up to you to decide. So as Muslims, it will take a lot of effort from us.
Out of the class. As Muslims doesn't work here. As human beings.
Okay, I was going to get to the human beings.
Okay. All right.
As Muslims,
Okay.
we are trying to understand that we need to have this perspective, this shift in our perspective. For human beings,
Yeah.
there is this inert feeling that you explained that you know something's bad for you. Like, for example, illness is bad.
Is it?
It's something that you should avoid.
You should avoid. It's good, but not bad.
No, okay, let me rephrase
Okay,
it. It's something that
rephrase
you should
it.
avoid. But then when you look and see, for example, Muslims, you see that the majority of Muslims are poor.
I don't
They
know
are-
whom are
they
you
have
talking
a lot of
about.
diseases.
I don't know who are you talking about.
No, I'm
What do you
talking
mean
about
majority of Muslims?
Some foreigner sitting somewhere
Now, some
watching
people-
Fox News.
some
He
people,
sees-
okay.
He sees, no, this is reality.
No, they are reality.
Muslim world?
No,
Muslim
no, no,
world
no, no.
is-
There is no such
is-
thing.
Is in poverty? No.
There is no such thing. Believers and non-believers. I understand. But speak about it, the believers and non-believers. Don't use the political titles. We are not in the political class here. We are really trying to see every event as a human being.
Okay, as a human being, I am looking, I see the majority of the Muslim world.
No, just a minute. As a human being, the majority of the Muslim world means a political statement, and
But this is reality. This is
not
the
not
world we're living in
reality.
right now.
That's
This is the
your
world-
reality, not the reality.
The world we're living in, there is a world. Okay, there is a place in the world that
Yes.
Muslims live in.
I don't know whether they are Muslims or not. How do I know? I don't know. That is
Redefine
political
Muslim.
identity.
There are countries that identify.
I don't know.
themselves
The
as Muslims.
countries are nation state. You cannot use politically loaded concept in this class.
But this is
We-
reality we're living in.
No,
right now.
it's not reality.
Reality
It is artificial reality. You have to check. That's why this is an artificial reality, imposed reality, indoctrinated reality.
I understand all that.
Okay,
understand
good
all that, but
then.
I'm talking
I
about
know
the
you
person that does
understand.
not understand all that. He sits there.
Who?
Whether it's true or false, there is an impression that there is something called a Muslim world, and that Muslim world.
Who calls
is-
them Muslim? But I don't.
I don't know who called it.
Why do we talk about it, the unknown source?
Is there something? Can you go to somebody and ask them, "Have you heard of the Muslim world?" They'll say, "Yes."
No, but
I've
they
of the
heard it
Muslim
from
world."
the TV or
Yes,
media.
I know. I'm talking.
But this is made up.
Yes, but it's reality.
We have to wake up.
Not
Wake
me,
up.
them. I'm asking.
We have to wake up.
Okay, let me get to my question.
Okay, get it.
Okay, whether it's true or false, there is a perception that there is something called the Muslim world. Whether it's true or false, there is a perception that there are people called Muslims, and the majority of these Muslims are poor, and the majority of these Muslims are living in very bad circumstances. Now, God created me in a way to avoid these kind of things. I don't want to be poor. I
You
don't
don't want
want to
to.
be. I don't want to
That's
be in
correct.
conflict.
That's very correct.
I don't want to
I
be-
agree with this
So
statement,
then I will
absolutely.
try to avoid these people.
Avoid, but people, you have to try to avoid the poverty.
Okay, I will try to avoid Islam because
Poverty.
Islam
Nothing to do with
results in
Islam.
this.
Nothing to do with
Yeah.
Islam.
Come on.
Why? What?
What is laughing?
Let,
There's
let
a lot
them
of
laugh.
talking,
What
and
is
There's a
it?
lot of
Very
talking. There's a lot of
Yeah,
talking.
no.
We're trying to hear the conversation.
Okay, become. Of course they will laugh. وهو يضحك. And what was the verse? Who makes God is the one who makes you laugh. God is the one who makes you laugh
Cry.
and cry. What was the verse? Who remembers the verse? هو الذي أضحك وأبكى. So that's the manifestation of God. No. Let everybody laugh. And I'm attacking this brother because I know he's a strong guy. But you and I have to wake up, not to use fabricated concepts. So when you start saying that, for example, what the secularists say, they say, things the world happens by itself as a result of causal chain, and of course I see that this disease is coming from this microbe or something like this, or the disorder in the gene of a. No. The very beginning, how do you say accident? I've never seen accident in the world. I've never seen anything happening accidentally. Even if it was, then you wouldn't be studying the nature of the creation because the accumulation of accidents is chaos. And you cannot study chaos. That is a very self-contradiction. If we carried away by these concepts, indoctrinated or infiltrated into our minds by certain sources, and then speak with their language, it means I accept their worldview. I don't. I see human beings, and what the religion which is called Islam is a religion of the Creator presented to human beings. The more or as much as we are associating ourselves with it, we are submitting to this truth. If I don't, I don't. We cannot speak in terms of absolute. We don't know. People call it something, none of my business. I cannot use it for my argument. I cannot say, this place, this island is called Manhattan, so the Manhattan is this. The people call it Manhattan. It's a piece on the earth. So it is a political, geographical, social, whatever concept. It is value-laden. We have to wake up. So I cannot really identify what I read from the Quran with a person who says, I believe in it. You may believe in it. That's yours, none of my business. I have to look at the verse itself, what it says. That's why we have to isolate the source from those people who claim to follow this source. Because human beings are fallible, I am fallible. Here is the verse, that's my understanding, you can attack me. My understanding is free to be attacked because I am a fallible man. I may be misunderstanding or misinterpreting. I may be absolutely wrong. So attack me. So don't associate me with the verse. Don't say that what this man says doesn't make sense, so the Quran is wrong. Oh, but look at the mistake, the gravest mistake we are making here. My interpretation may not make sense to you, but accuse me. So isolate the ideas from the people.
Can I just say something? This is not something like today. This is an argument that's been used ever since the prophets. They will say, do you want me, for example, like to help poor people? Do you want me to provide for someone that if God himself wanted to provide for them, he would have.
Yeah, no, this is for you, no.
So
When you see a poor guy, you can have the same attitude right now, saying that, why should I give the food to him? If giving food was good, God would give it to him. That's it, we're very daily life. Don't attribute anything to the past. Sister, oh, I'm going to give you something, that I promised. Okay, I think we have to stop. But
I didn't get my answer.
of course,
With regards to
yeah.
that, I think
Would you like to? Excuse me. Would you like to leave now for any reason? Okay. But I could just keep you.
I know we have to break, I'll just say it very quickly, but I
Can
think
you
my
give-
assumption from your comment is that what we have is ours and that we're giving it, but in essence, it's not ours. We were given it by the Creator.
Yes, but
So to distribute it is not like saying that it's mine, so now I have to give it. It's just saying it was allotted to me, and now I'm giving what my Creator gave to me. I don't know,
Yes, but for somebody who doesn't believe that,
yeah.
So it doesn't give it. That's it. People are free, man. People are free. Yeah. People are free to believe or not believe. Not from the last class we
it
had.
makes it even harder for you to believe it.
Sorry. No. No, inshallah, we can talk, but the time is getting really, really tight now. And so we can talk about it. Please, go ahead, but get ready. I will. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.